So, hello everyone. Yes, today we are going to practice and tomorrow we're going to compete in a competition. So, fingers crossed that everything goes well. I had a few issues yesterday, like with the hydro. Made a mistake by putting the piping wrong. So, for ever guy, this one is inlet. Yep, this one. And this one goes back. So if you ever do like hydro on the brake system, remember that. I think it's the same on every single thing. So that's a good thing. I haven't tested it yet. I need to test it. But my battery died while I was fapping around, so that's not cool. I put some, not tint, but like protective layer on the windows. They look dodgy as F. But what can you do? I'm not professional, still learning. But yeah, and the battery died. That's a bit of a pity. I need to wait for my wife to come here. Then we hook it up, get it started, take it out, check the brakes, get it on a trailer, go to the track, have fun, and enjoy the day. Because it means a lot of like fixing and changing things on a car, which is cool, it's fun, but the main thing is drift, go sideways, fast, or as fast as you can with this little fella in there. Yeah, remember guys, keep drifting fun, or else you're gonna have a bad time. So yeah, let's follow this further and see how it goes. So today is an awesome day because I can't find parts for this, these two little bits. So yeah, I've been to the 4 shops already. I'm going to the 5th one, Baltic Auto Parts. Hopefully they're gonna have some. If not, tough cookie. But the hydro needs to go in today, so let's hope it's okay. So yeah, they're 2 different sizes. That's the one problem. The other problem is that they're not everywhere and they're completely different from the brake ones. So hopefully this magic shop we're gonna have some. Let's see how it goes. So I got the right part. At the end of it, it was in AD parts, AD Baltic, AD parts. So basically, if you need anything for the hydro and stuff like that, like different fittings, easily go there and they're gonna hook you up. They said, yeah, they are kind of very different sizes from the usual ones, even from the clutch master cylinder. Yeah, that's the name for it. So yeah, but they got it, so it's awesome. And I got little 2 bits which are really cool for the piping, where I don't need to do additional work. I just connect 2 pipes and they make like little mushroom heads themselves, so I don't need to like fap around with oily bits. At the start I thought I'm gonna change it completely from top to bottom, but then I talked with the guys, they said there's no point doing that, so just cut the pipes in the middle and it should be fine. Shouldn't be too worried about it. So yeah, so that would be cool. So took the wheels off because a major issue, it's scraping like hell on the top and inside. I think this bit is going to be sorted with spacers. This bit is by raising the height. It was dropped to the max, but I raised it like 2.2 centimeters. So we'll see how that goes, because it was way too low for my driving. Plus it was scraping and slowing down the car, so that doesn't work good. It doesn't work like it's supposed to do. So we're gonna see. The first thing is to check if the top is not scraping anymore, and then check if the inside bit is not scraping. So cracking on with the short shifter now. I think it's fairly easy job. We're gonna see how that goes. So got all disconnected here, so should be okay. Just gonna lift up the car now, get this bit off. Yeah, get this bit off and should be fine. So we're gonna see how that goes, and then while that's off, I'm gonna start mocking up the hydro. Got all the piping and everything that's sorted, so it should be fine. And hopefully this Saturday I can test the hydro, the short shifter and everything else. Oh, and by the way, sorted out this bit. Nothing is rubbing anymore, so that's awesome. Lifted the car for about 2 centimeters, but I think needs just 5 more millimeters more higher. We can sort that out in a minute. Now short shifter and a hydro should be cool. Hey everybody, it's Friday. It's midday, I think so. Started finishing on a bracket for the hydro. It's gonna look something like that. Can't decide either paint it or not, but probably I'm gonna paint it because I'm not a big fan of shiny things, so I'm gonna paint it. So, had an issue in the past with a bleeding valve here on an old brake caliper. So I needed to change that one around. So done that so I can bleed properly the system, and all should be good and well while I'm working at it. And there's one top trick. If you are too lazy to take off the rear suspension, the shock, there's a little trick that I did now, and it's with these two bad boys for the bolts behind here. And what I did was like this. See it better now, like this. And see what it does? Because there's not a lot of room behind here, as you can see, and you can't really get the torque wrench in there. So yeah, this little top tip, how you can easily gain access without taking too much apart, especially if you're on the side of the road and something does happen sometimes. This is really good little way how to speed up your day. Of course, this is what's that called? Torque wrench. I wouldn't thought you can do with any other, but this is a good top tip, so maybe it comes in handy someday in the future. Maybe for some other places where you got tight space but you need to get there. So yeah. So basically, that was one of the main things that I needed to do today as well, because otherwise I can't bleed the system. So that's going to be all sorted. The hydro mounts are drying. Well, dried, I painted them. So that's good. So I'm gonna, after this, jump inside, change everything, like not change, put everything back together, trim a little bit. There's one of the plastics for the middle console needs to be trimmed. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Adjusted everything. I found a space where I'm gonna run the lines, and gonna start doing that. So yeah. So the plumbing is done. Started bleeding the system, and then one of my mushroom heads weren't good enough and didn't take a pressure, so it started squirting oil everywhere. So I need to wait a little bit until it stops dripping. It's probably 20 minutes, maybe less. Make a new head and tighten it all up together again, and then start all over. Hopefully it's gonna bleed itself good this time, because everything is wired up correctly, like all the plumbing is done correctly. It's just this little bit, it was pushing air out, and the brake fluid, so that's why I couldn't bleed it properly, because it was two like mistakes. So yeah, so we're gonna see how that goes. Should be cool. So yeah, guys. Are we halfway there. The car is going there already, so I'm not sure if we're going to catch up or not, because the traffic was really bad back in Riga, but we'll see. So yeah, should be cool. Pit walk. This car's ready. This is Ezis with Apple. Yeah. So it's not really overheating now. It's gonna go for see what's happening. Otherwise it's boring, standing around doing nothing. Going sideways. 330. Another Pro-Am car. It's like mainly like off-seasons over here. So yeah. So we're walking around now. Everything is kind of okay. Everything's kind of okay, so should be cool. We're waiting for the stuff, the inspection and stuff, so we'll see how it goes. No need to be worried. So we are starting the first practice season. Track is very technical, so for me it's going to be fairly hard. So you're going to see how that goes. Don't have that much skill. There are some really good drivers today, so see how it's going to go. If you compare it to the last time where I went to that parking spot, the thing is, in that parking spot you had really wide swings, but here everything is very narrow and you need to work with pedals a lot, which is a big bummer for me because I haven't really done that before. So you're gonna see how that goes, and then I think it should be alright. You're gonna see later on how I get on and get the feedback from me anyway. So anyway, should be a fun day. Just a little bit nervous, that's normal, but hopefully it's gonna be okay. So today didn't go swimmingly, but what can you do? This happens. We're pushing on the rear suspension. Said goodbye. The heating problem is still there, but I think I just need to top it up with water. What else? Everything else is fine. Oh, the hydro works like shit, but that's my fault. So yeah, just need to carry on. Should be cool. And it's time to finish today. Had enough fun. So, start tomorrow again. Should be cool. Maybe. Maybe not. We're gonna see. Oh.